I can't stop loving you, baby. I can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you, sugar. I can't stop loving you. 'Cause your loving takes me higher, higher than I never knew I could before. Your loving takes me higher, higher and higher and higher. I can't stop loving you, baby. I can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you, sugar. I can't stop loving you.
What's going on, guys? So I'm going to be breaking down this banger of a track. If you follow me on social media, you definitely heard this track before, and if you don't follow me on social media, the links down below. You can definitely follow me to keep up with what we'll be up to in the studio. But yeah, the first thing I want to highlight on this track are the chords. So what I have first here, I have a Labs, and Labs is free. I introduced it to you guys in my previous video by Spitfire Audio. It's actually a free plugin with amazing sound patches that you can download for free. I will also just put a link in the description below so you can also get it. But these are the chords. Very simple. It's a very simple chord progression that I played over there, and it just stuck with me. I was like, this it just sounds so nice. But what I did is that I layered it with an analog lab with another Rhodes that I also threw in there, just to give it a little bit more body and to make it sound much better and more richer. So this is the layer that I added. So together they sound like this. And this is just the first one. And with the second one, it just sounds so magical. This track needed proper lush chords, the ones that I made here. So I thought I needed to really emphasize the beauty of the chords by adding this extra layer. And then I just have this loop right there, a simple shaker, and then I also have a drum loop. And I just took out some of the low end out of this loop. So what I can do is I can just take that EQ out. So it already has a kick on there and some bottom end, but I took that out because I just wanted just the percussion in there, just the texture. I just felt like there's some nice textures in that drum loop. And then the next sound that I have is this sound over here. That's just in GMS. That's a GMS patch, the classic detune TE. It just plays like this. And in context of the track, so it sounds really nice, but I felt like I need some reverb, and I just want to also try out the new reverb by iZotope called Neoverb. It's an amazing reverb. It's pretty new, and I just want to try it out and see how it works. And they say it also works with AI, so it can actually do some automatic listening to the tracks that are around the channel that you would have put it on, and then it can actually take out some mud and set its own self up automatically. So we're gonna try that out with this. That's amazing. But first and foremost, before we go anywhere, I want to check out the presets, because I know iZotope always has amazing presets. So here in presets, you can see it has all purpose, add smack, fresh air, dark spacious, general bus enhancement. You also have guitar presets, instrumental presets, percussion spaces, and for vocals, that's really dope because this track has vocals, as you heard. We're also going to try this reverb on the vocals to see how it sounds. So we can go on the instrumental, and we can go maybe on the lead, bright icy synths. Let's try that one. That's pretty cool. Now let's try the reverb assistant. Let's see how that works. I'll just put it in song mode and I'll go reverb assistant. And we have some controls here, and you can choose a style, realistic and dramatic. Let's see if we can make it dramatic, because obviously we don't want to make it realistic. And we can choose the size, we'll make it large, and the dry wet we'll just keep it at 50%. And you can choose the tone, clean, dark, bright, or airy. Let's see, let's make it dark. I think dark will be okay, and choose next. Now it's waiting for me to play audio, and then we're gonna play. So it's cleaning up input signal by creating a custom EQ curve and comparing wet and dry signal to create custom post EQ curve. Okay. Wow, that quick. So you can see here what it did with the pre-EQ. It cut out the high end, because obviously this synth has some high end on it, so the reverb doesn't need that high end. Let's see the reverb EQ. It says no significant masking detected, so it didn't hear any masking happening. So that's pretty cool. And I see here you can actually select plug-in for masking, and then you can also do dry versus wet. Okay, that's pretty cool. So you can actually tweak these and change them if you want to change them. Like, as I always say, that presets are always a starting point. So what you have here, you have the reflections, the plate, and the hall. So this is more like a short reflection reverb, and you have a plate, and then that's like a medium reverb, and then you have a hall that's like a long reverb. So if I move to the hall, you can see it's a bit longer. If I move to the plate, it's shorter. And if I move to the reflections, it's like a simple room reflections. So I think it's really cool. So you're getting 3 reverbs in one. So it's like a big blend of reverbs. And you also have a dry wet knob here. That's cool. Oh, and you can also change the intensity of the pre-EQ. Just like that. You can see the curves here. That's pretty awesome. And you can change the slope of the EQ. There we go. If you want to cut. So if you want to like high pass, you can do that. That's pretty decent. Now let's play the track without and with. It sounds so high quality though. Okay, let's check out the other sounds that are in here. So this is now the kick and a rim, a ride, and a wood block. And then we have a crash here. That's that crash. And we have another sound here, which is just a pad that's called Star Theme in Purity. So that's just adding some background ambience. And if we move up to this section over here before we get to the B section, you can see there's another pattern over here, which is another pad, which is the pad 3MC. Just adding a little bit of movement to the track at that point. And then we also have another Purity, which is the sax, the tenor sax. And now for the B section, what I did was that I just added like this a Vigro roll. Now let me play that back. So what I added on the B section was 2 snares and a clap. So you have the first snare, that one, and you have a second one, and then you have a clap, and you have this other sound here that's from Morphine. That's the brass clarinet. Just a layer with the sax, just to add a little bit more to the sax so that it changes, because I wanted it to be like a significant change at this point. And then now for the bass line, we obviously have log drum and layered with an E flute. So one thing, if you've noticed, is that the notes of the log drum and the E flute are different. So what I did here was that I EQ'd some of the low end out of the log drum. Like you can see, I rolled off the low end just on the equalizer on the bus here. I mean, I didn't need to load up a parametric EQ2 just to do this. Sometimes I just use the EQ that's here. It's the same thing. And then what I did was that I allowed this one to shine, the E flute to really shine. And what I did was that I added some long notes for the E flute, for the deep bass for the E flute to really sustain a little bit longer than the log drum. So this is how it sounds with just the log drum. And now with the E flute. You can feel the punchiness of that low end bass that the E flute is dropping in. It's just mind blowing. I love how that sounds. That's really good. And at the end here, I just added an open hat just there. Add some swing. So that's the key to Amapiano. I really like Amapiano that has kind of a drop and then it goes into a B section, and that's really dope. Now let's move on to the vocals. Great job by my fiance Tatenda. Great job, baby. She did amazing work on the vocals.
I can't stop loving you, baby.
So I did a bit of processing on the vocals. I added an EQ just to cut out some of the mid-range, and then I added an API 550B, a CLA 2A, and a little bit of RVox and some parametric EQ just to, you know, and cut out some of the low end and just control some of the extra necessary frequencies that we didn't want from there. But now let's try the Neoverb on vocals for a second. So let me just throw that in there, and let me see if I can try a vocal preset. And let me choose maybe not vocal, bright chamber, far hall, bright vocal chamber, background vocal bright. Let's see if we can pick a medium warm vocal room hall. Okay, these names though, bro. Okay, let me just solo this section here.
I can't stop loving you, baby. I can't stop loving you.
So that sounds more platish. It's really medium. Now let's try something else. Let's do small dark vocal.
I can't stop loving you, baby. I can't stop loving you.
That sounds pretty good.
I can't stop loving you, sugar. I can't stop loving you.
Okay, these large ones are okay as well.
'Cause your loving takes me higher, higher than I never.
Okay, that's a bit too much, but if you want to actually turn that down, you can just drop the mix.
I can't stop loving you, baby.
That sounds pretty good. Now let's try the reverb assistant. I'll just make sure that all the other instruments will be playing. Reverb assistant, and we want to make it slightly dramatic, and we will do maybe just a medium is fine, and we can do a dark again, or maybe, you know what, we'll just do a clean and just raise the wet maybe to 30%, and next.
I can't stop loving you, baby. I can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you, sure.
Okay, it's done that quick. This reverb is amazing.
I can't stop loving you, baby.
Okay, so this is without.
I can't stop loving you, baby.
And this is with.
I can't stop loving you, baby.
Okay, so check out if I increase the amount of EQ here. You can see it took out most of the mid-range out, and the parts where the reverb would create some muddiness and just mess up the vocal and mess up. It just created room for the other stuff to shine and for her vocals to really shine. So that's really amazing. This reverb is really good. I really like it. And oh, you can actually turn off the other ones, like if you just want to use just the one. Oh wow. And you can actually change them. Like I can change it to L chamber or hall, plate, M chamber, room, plate. Oh wow, that's pretty awesome. And you can also change the mix, and you also have a menu here, a button that you can click so you can get more controls of the reverb. Wow. And one thing I like is that you can resize this. That's another good thing. I hate plugins that you cannot resize. That's pretty awesome. So if you have a different size of a screen, you can play around with the size and adjust that so you can fine tune your settings. You can change the attack, diffusion, size and time, standard, crossover and damping. That's awesome. And you also have some mod here as well, and some pre-delay and some smoothness here, and you can turn that off, on and off. I love that when iZotope creates a plugin, they make sure they create a plugin with everything you need. You don't feel like you need anything more out of it. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, that's the track. It's still a work in progress. I want to know what you guys think down below of this track, but it's been getting like a lot of good feedback on social media when we dropped it, and we're gonna be dropping it pretty soon. But just make sure you stay logged onto our social media. Just make sure you follow me on my social media and stuff, and you'll definitely get notified when the track is out. But that's the track itself. That's it for this video, guys. I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Have an awesome day. I'm X and I'm out. Peace.
I can't stop loving you, baby. I can't stop loving you.